Hi guys, it's day 11. We are doing a vinyasa flow practice focusing on twists. You'll need to have one block close by, somewhere close to the top of your mat, and we're going to start seated in any way that's comfortable to you. So for me, that's cross-legged. If it happens to be kneeling or sitting up on a block, that will work as well. Try to reach the crown of your head up and drop the shoulders away from the ears. Just getting grounded first, so allow the eyes to close. Gentle tuck of the chin to keep the back of the neck long. Feel the sit bones rooted down in the earth so that you can lengthen from the sides of your waist up towards the chest. Tuning into your breath. Let's bring our fingertips down to the floor. As you inhale, reach the arms up overhead, look up, bring the palms to touch. And exhale, just soften them back down. 2 more times like this, nice and simple. Inhale, lengthen, reach. Exhale, release, drop the shoulders down. 1 more time. Inhale, reach up. And this time, let's twist over. So bring your left hand towards your right knee and your right palm behind you, about 6 inches. Feel the crown of the head lift up as you stretch out through the lower back. And as you exhale, move into your twist by pulling your right shoulder back, drawing the lower belly in. Notice the tendency here to round or contract forward. Try to maintain the same amount of length in your spine as you did when you were facing forward. Pressing the shoulders away from the ears. Take another inhale through the nose. And then exhale, release. Switching sides, let's reach our arms up towards the sky. Bring the palms to touch. Maintain this length. Just set your right hand over on your left knee and your left fingertips behind you. Lift up through the collarbones and then exhale to twist as you pull your left shoulder back. Lifting up through the lower belly and lower back, keeping your chin in line with your chest. Take another breath to reach up, and then exhale, release, and come back to center. Let's stretch our legs out in front of us, still in seated stance. We're going to bring our left knee in, and then bring your left foot to the inside of your right thigh. So I'm still keeping my shoulders and my hips square towards the front of the mat. You're going to bring your left palm to the outer edge of your right leg. Bring your right fingertips behind you and find your twist once more. So I'm pulling my right shoulder back. From here, start to slide your left hand down the right leg as far as you can and bring your right hand towards your lower back, maybe reaching to the inner left thigh crease, only if it's accessible. Looking up if it's comfortable for the neck. So there's a twist and a fold happening here. Press the right shoulder down, keep the right foot flexed. Bring the left hand back in, unwind from your twist and fold straight forward. Feel free to bend your right knee here, grabbing a hold of whatever is accessible, relaxing the forehead down. Let's walk the palms back in, rolling up. So from here, you're gonna plant your left hand behind you about 6 inches or so. You're gonna reach your right arm up and over, press the left knee and the right foot in towards the floor to lift the hips. Lifting the chest, reaching the arms up and back. Press the right foot firmly down on the floor. And let's release. Switching sides, so left leg forward. Bring your right knee in, and then bring your right foot to the inside edge of your left thigh, pressing that right knee down. Keep that foot flexed. You're gonna cross your right hand to the outer edge of your left thigh. You're gonna pull that left shoulder back behind you for your twist, fingertips on the floor, and then start to slide your right hand down that left leg as far as is comfortable. Pull the lower belly in, and then rest your hand either towards your lower back, or you're gonna reach your left fingertips for the inside of that right thigh to help draw the left shoulder back. Maybe looking up if that feels okay. Notice the quality of your breath in this deep twist. Try to keep the inhale just as long as the exhale, not pushing too far. Lift the right palm back up, unwind the chest, and let's fold forward straight over our left leg, grabbing a hold of whatever is accessible. 3 breaths here. Walk the palms back in to lift up. Let's plant our right hand behind us this time. Swing your left arm up and over. Lift the hips and lift the chest as you reach everything up towards the ceiling. Setting the hips back down on the ground. Let's come into our tabletop pose on hands and knees. We're going to make our way into a variation of thread the needle. So instead of keeping our palms directly underneath our shoulders, we're going to lift up onto our fingertips and reach them further forward. From here, I'm going to thread my right arm through and underneath so that I can lower my right shoulder and right ear to the mat. Instead of keeping my left elbow bent, I'm going to crawl my left fingertips further forward, stretching and reaching out through that arm. Relax the neck. If the head doesn't make it all the way down to the ground, you can always lower onto a block. Press the right arm against the floor to get a deeper stretch into the upper back. And then slide your left palm in, ground the hand to the floor, and press against the mat to lift yourself back up into a tabletop pose. Switching sides, lift the palms off the mat, reach your fingertips forward, and this time we're going to thread the left arm under, lowering the left shoulder and the left ear down to the mat. Instead of having the right elbow bent, I'm going to reach and stretch out through the right arm, pressing the left hand and the left arm down onto the mat to twist a little bit deeper, pulling the lower belly in. Relax your neck. Let's slide the right palm back in. Press it in towards the floor to help lift yourself up. From your tabletop pose, let's come into our first downward facing dog. Walk your palms further forward. Curl the toes under and lift the hips up and back. Any little movements that are comfortable here. Shake out the head a few times. Make sure the fingertips are spreading wide. From this downward facing dog, we're actually going to widen our stance. So bring your feet closer towards the edges of your mat. And if you know that your hamstrings are really tight, you'll be better off walking your palms in a couple inches, so narrowing your stance. I'm going to keep my hands where they were. We're going to take a twist from here, so solidify the right hand, press the finger pads in towards the mat. Start to lift your left palm off the ground, sliding it towards the center of your mat, and maybe reaching towards your right leg, so you can hold up the upper thigh or down towards the shin. Start to bend into your left elbow as you look underneath that right arm and right shoulder, twisting deeply. Pull the navel in. Keep the right arm straight. Press the hips up and back. And let's release, left hand to the floor. Switching sides, so start to drag your right fingertips back in, grabbing a hold of whatever is accessible and comfortable today. Bend into the right elbow as you look underneath your left arm and left shoulder. Press into the heels. Feel free to bend your knees as much as is required here. Let's bring our right hand to the floor. Look forward and just walk your palms up. Feet are still hip-width distance apart. Bend your knees generously and roll all the way up to stand, one vertebrae at a time, shrugging the shoulders down and away from the ears once you get up in our mountain pose. We're going to come into chair, so make sure you do have a block somewhere close by that you can grab in case you need it. Big toes are together, heels are about an inch or so apart. We'll bring our hands at our heart, bend the knees and drop the hips. Put a little bit more weight into your heels and a little bit less into the balls of the feet. Keep the chest lifted. Let's take a twist from here. So inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist by dropping your left elbow over the top of your right thigh. Press your palms in together firmly to rotate the right shoulder back and take a peek at your knees. Most likely your left knee is now past the right, so see if you can shift it back and keep them in line. Keep your gaze steady, try to drop the hips a little bit lower. And let's look down at the floor to help with balance. You're gonna lean your weight in towards your right foot and maybe pick up the left leg and left foot off the mat. Stepping it back into a high lunge. Left toes go back behind you. Realign your twist, pressing your palms towards the heart, rolling the right shoulder back. Bend into your right knee and drop the hips down low. 3 breaths here. Look down to the floor. Plant your palms to the mat. We're coming into our 3-legged dog. Reach your right leg all the way up and back. Bend your right knee and open up that hip. Lift the right knee as high as you can. We're gonna come back into a lunge on the same side. So straighten your right leg and step your right foot forward in between the palms. We're lifting back into our lunge. Arms up. Bend the right knee, maybe the back knee bends a little bit as well. We're gonna reverse our lunge. So from here, pull the lower belly in, and you're gonna twist the upper body towards the right side of your mat. Stay here, or to go a little deeper, you're gonna bring your right hand towards the upper left thigh, and then the left arm up and over. Still bending deeply into your right knee, nothing changes. Just lift, reaching into the left fingertips. Use your core to lift yourself up and out of the pose. Release the left hand to the mat, right arm up. Looking down, bring your right palm to the floor. Let's take our flow. So inhale, plank pose. Exhale, maybe chaturanga as you hover and hold halfway. Upward facing dog, tops of the feet press into the ground, lift the heart. Exhale, down dog. 3 breaths here. Let's walk our feet forward to the top of the mat. Just like we did before, bend the knees and roll up nice and slow. Draw the shoulders away from the ears, lifting the collarbones up high, tailbone is reaching down. Let's take our chair pose on the second side, so hands at your heart, big toes together, heels apart, bend the knees, drop the hips. Keep the tailbone reaching down so the lower back stays nice and flat. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other. Inhale, lift. Exhale, twist to the left. So right elbow goes over the top of your left thigh. Try not to let your right knee and right hip lean forward too much. Shift it back so the knees stay in line. Bend the knees even more. Trying to keep our hips lower than the heart. Look down at the floor to help with balance. Lean onto your left foot and left leg and see if you can pick up the right toes off the mat. Using this to step that right leg back into your lunge. Nice and slow, come back into your twist. Press the palms towards the center of the chest. Draw the left shoulder away from the ear, maybe look up. Belly lifted off the front thigh. Look down at the floor. We're coming into our 3-legged dog. Palms on the mat. Lift your left leg up and back as you bend the left knee and open up that hip. Same leg, so let's just straighten that left leg and step it forward back into our high lunge. Feet are hip width distance apart. Power up the belly, lift the chest. Let's take our reverse lunge from here. So keeping the arms up, just start to rotate the chest over towards the left side of your mat. Bend your left knee even more. We're gonna bring our left hand towards the upper right thigh and extend the right arm up and back. Get that nice stretch into the right side of your waist. Breathing deeply. Runner's lunge with a twist, come back up. Drop the right hand to the floor, left arm stays lifted. Trying to get your left thigh parallel to the ground. Look down at the floor. Let's take our flow. Inhale to plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale to downward facing dog. Let's reach our right leg up towards the sky. Keep it straight and square. And step it forward in between your palms. You're gonna bring your back foot in a couple inches and spin it at a 45-degree angle. Grab a hold of your block and let's come up. So my hips and my shoulders are still facing towards the front of the mat. Really important that you keep pulling your left hip forward, right hip back. We're gonna come into revolved triangle. Using your block, you're gonna place it in your left hand, right hand on your waist. As you inhale, lift the left arm up, lengthen. And as you exhale, start to hinge forward at your waist until you can drop that block a few inches behind your right foot, a few inches beside your right foot. Once you're in this stance, you'll probably notice that your left hip wants to open up towards the side of your mat. Keep pulling it forward and drawing that right hip back so you're staying nice and squared. Adjust the block to the height that works best for your flexibility. So if you have open hamstrings, you're welcome to just bring your fingertips to the floor. I'm gonna keep them on a block at about the second level. To come into your twist, pull the lower belly in and start to roll the right shoulder back. So the upper body is now facing towards the right side of your mat. If you wanna take it one step further, you're gonna extend the right arm up. Only looking up if that feels okay for the neck. Bring the right hand back onto the waist. Roll the right shoulder back down. Move your block to the side of your mat. Bring both hands on your hips. Press the feet into the ground and lift all the way back up. Let's come to stand and bring our left knee in with us. Engaging the hip flexors to lift. We're gonna bring our right hand towards the left shin and extend the left arm back, reaching towards the back of your mat. So my hips are still facing forward. I'm just opening up the chest. This is option one. Those of you that would like to take this a little further can grab a hold of the big left toe with the two peace fingers in the right hand and maybe extend the left leg forward. Feel free to bend into one or both knees here. If your left leg was straight, bend it once more. Slowly bring the chest back to center, hands at the heart, chair pose. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Exhale, fold, straighten the legs. Let's take our flow. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant the palms, maybe hop back to chaturanga. So elbows bent, upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, down dog. Looking forward to the top of the mat, lift the heels, bend the knees, step or hop. Find your halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. Press to stand. Let's draw our hands at our heart. Moving on to the second side. Reach the arms up, bring your palms to touch. Exhale, fold forward, hinge at the waist. Take your halfway lift, flat back, and go right away to downward facing dog. So just step the feet back. Preparing for a revolved triangle on the second side. Let's reach our left leg up and back. And then step your left foot forward in between your palms. You're gonna bring your back foot in a couple inches and spin it at a 45-degree angle. Grab a hold of your block and lift on up. So once more, you're squaring your hips and squaring your shoulders, so everything is facing towards the front of your mat. You're gonna bring your left hand on your waist. The block is in your right hand this time. On an inhale, reach and extend. As you exhale, hinge at the waist. Keep a flat back as you fold forward. Pull the left hip back, right hip forward, and set your block and choose the desired height that you're gonna work with on this side. Find your foundation by pressing into both feet, and then start to draw the left shoulder back as you open up the chest, maybe reaching the left arm up as well. wherever is comfortable. Press into both feet and both legs evenly. Start to look down. Drop the left palm to the mat. Move your block to the side. Bring your hands on your waist. Press the feet into the floor and come all the way back up. We're going to come up to stand, bringing our right knee in with us. Preparing for a twist. Bring your left hand towards the right shin and extend the right arm back. Lower belly pulls in. Stand up a little taller. This is option 1. Option 2 is to catch a hold of your big right toe with the 2 left fingers as you extend that right leg straight, pressing into the heel. Slow, steady breaths. Keep your focus. If your right leg was straight, bend it once more. Come back to center into chair pose, hands at the heart, big toes together, heels apart. Drop the hips a tiny bit lower and let's take our flow. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands, maybe hop back. Chaturanga. Upward dog. Exhale, down dog. Let's set our knees on the floor. Swing your legs forward and we're going to lower all the way down onto our backs. Finishing off with the twist. Let's bring our arms out into a T. Press the feet into the floor. Lift your hips and move them a couple inches to the right before dropping both knees over to the left. Feel free to put a block underneath your legs if this is too much. If you wanted to twist a little bit deeper, you can cross your right thigh over your left before letting the knees drop, and you can turn your head to look over the right shoulder. These twists are a wonderful way to decompress the lower back. Let's firm up the belly. Lift the knees and the head back to center. Uncross the legs. Switching sides, let's bring our hips over to the left and let both knees drop to the right. Either taking this variation or crossing your left thigh over your right. Maybe looking over towards the left shoulder. Before we take Shavasana, squeeze the knees in towards the chest. Let's stretch the legs out, reaching into the arms. Bringing the spine back to neutral. Breathing into the chest. may stay here for as long as you would like. Thank you so much for doing this practice with me. I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.